All right, guys, we're going to continue looking at inscribed angles. We got another 3 or 4 examples to look at, and we'll move on. All right, so number 13, if the measure of FGH equals this, and the arc measure of FJH equals this, it says to find your arc measure. All right, so what do we know? We know that this is an inscribed angle, and we know that the angle is half the arc. So we can take and double the angle measure to make it equal the arc measure. So 2 times 6x plus 21 equals 17x minus 28. All right, if you look back to the first of your notes, you'll see that that equation is there. All right, so we're going to distribute the 2. So we're going to distribute the 2 to the 6x and the 21. So we're going to get 12x plus 42 is equal to the 7x minus 28. Now we're trying to solve for x, so we need x to be on one side of the equation. So let's go ahead and subtract 12x from both sides. And I get 42 equals 17 minus 12, or 5x. Bring down my 28, my negative 28. And then I need to add 28 to both sides. All right, 42 plus 28 is 70. And let's divide both sides by 5. So x equals 14. All right, now I'm going to take x, and now I have to plug that in to find my arc. So this one was my angle measure, this one is my arc measure. So I need 17x minus 28. So I'm going to do 17 times, x is now 14 minus 28. And then when I multiply 17 times 14 and then subtract 28, I'm going to get 210 degrees. All right, and that is my measure of FJH. It's nice to go back and write what it equals, because then that's a sure way that you know that you solved for the correct thing. All right, 14 looks kind of similar. It says the measure of this angle. So this is your angle measure. And the measure of arc, SU. So this arc measure is 12x minus 50. And we need to find the measure of the angle this time. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is say, I know that this angle is related to this arc. It's going to be half of that measure here. So we can double this and set it equal to that. So we're going to have 2 times 5x minus 16 equals 12x minus 50. All right, when I use distributive property again, so I'm going to use distributive property and get 10x minus 32. And then I want to solve for x, so let's subtract 10x on both sides. So I bring down my negative 32. 12 minus 10 is 2x, and that's negative 50. All right, we're solving for x, so we're trying to get x by itself, so let's add 50. So 2x equals negative 32 plus 50 is positive 18. Divide by 2. X is 9. All right, once you find x, we need to find the measure of angle, STU. So this time we're looking at the measure of STU. So we've got 5x minus 16, or 5 times 9 minus 16. So we got 45 minus 16, or 29 degrees. All right, so the measure of angle STU. All right, moving down to 15. If the measure of angle ABD, so we've got ABD here. Well, all right, so ABD is here somewhat in green, and then ACD is this angle. All right, find the measure of arc AD. So we're looking for this arc measure. All right, so these are overlapping inscribed angles because they have the same arc. So we know that these two are equal to each other. So we can set these equal. So we can say 6x plus 26 is equal to 13x minus 9. All right, then we're going to subtract 6x from both sides. And 26 equals 13 minus 6, which is what, 7x? And then minus 9. So let's add 9 to both sides. And we're going to have 7x is equal to, let's see, 26 plus 9 is 35. And let's divide both sides by 7. So x equals 35 divided by 7 is 5. All right, so we're going to take the 5, and it says find the measure of AD. All right, so we're given both angle measures, so we have to find the angle measure first. And then once we find the angle measure, then we have to use that to find the arc measure. All right, so to find the angle measure, we're simply going to plug it in. So just pick one because they're the same. So 6x plus 26, and then 6 times 5 plus 26. So 30 plus 26 is 56. So that means the angle is 56 degrees because this is the angle measure. So this one is 56. This one would be the same thing. All right, now to find the measure of AD, we simply have to double that because the arc is twice the angle. We found the angle by plugging it in, and the arc is double that. So we've got to do 2 times 56 to get 112. So the measure of arc AD is 112 degrees. So again, always go back and make sure that you answered the question that's being asked. All right, last example. So we've got the measure of KJL, so KJL. So this is this angle here. And the measure of KLJ, so that's the angle of this measure here. And because this is the diameter and this line intercepts it, this is 90 degrees. All right, so we can add these two and set them equal to 90. So we're going to have, I'm going to work up here so it's a little bit out of the way. 3x plus 2 plus 7x minus 32. And we can set that equal to 90 because 90 and 90 is 180, and we know that 3 angles in a triangle equal 180 degrees. Or you can just add 90 and set it equal to 180. But if I just add these two, I know it's going to be 90. All right, so I've got 3 and 7 make 10x. 2 minus 32 is negative 30. And then add 30 to both sides. 10x, this cancels. 120, and divide that by 10. So we're going to get x equals 12 to begin with. All right, so what does it ask us to find? It asks us to find arc KL. So it wants to find arc KL. So we've got to take this angle, because that's opposite the arc, so we know that's half. So we have to find that one first. So we can do the measure of angle KJL is going to be 3 times x plus 2. So it's going to be 36 plus 2, or 38. And we know that the arc is twice the angle measure. So if this is 38, the measure of KL is going to be twice that, or 76 degrees. All right, I hope this is not too difficult.